What's going on, CrossFit Federal? It is, well, Thursday, and that means it is a makeup day. And so if you've missed Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, you get the opportunity to make up that workout in the gym. Or if I've done all 3 days already and I don't want to not go to the gym, but I am feeling pretty beat up and pretty tired from the week, then we've got some work for you to do. So we're going to start off with a 12-minute EMOM of our snatch. We're in the habit of knowing that there's an EMOM on Thursdays, and it's usually something Olympic lifting, either snatch or clean and jerk at a certain percentage. This is going to be 1 rep of our snatch at 75% for 12 minutes. And then what we're doing today, instead of some steady state cardio like we normally do on an active recovery day or anything else like that, we're going to be focusing on the pegboard. While we only have one in the gym, it is something that will give athletes an opportunity to experiment with it. They're not easy, so don't expect that everyone's going to be able to do it, but we will go through talking about some of the technique involved there, and we'll do a little bit of that today. I won't be demoing a full repetition on the pegboard, one, because I just finished working out and my shoulders are tired, but we will talk about some of the concepts that we need to think about on this video as well for those of you who are at home or anybody who's watching this video and wanting to learn a little bit more. And then it's either that or pick a skill and work on it. So much more like an open gym format. If you want to jump on a bike or jump on the rower and row some calories and spend some time just sweating and breathing and doing something that's not as high intensity as what we normally do, this is the time to do so. But if you have a skill, something that you know you really want to get better at, and you haven't felt like you've had the time to work on it in our regular class periods or class times, anything else like that, then by all means, today is the day to pick that skill and work with your coach on refining it and getting better and figuring out how to continue to move forward to achieve those movements or those skills or anything else like that that we don't have yet. The Open's been delayed till February. It's now back being in its original time frame in the year, which is great. But that means that we have some more time to start to get those things down. So if I'm still that athlete that doesn't have my double unders, I don't have my muscle ups, I don't have, pistols or things that we've seen come up in the Open in past years, these times, these days, and Thursday in general, when we treat it as like open gym and you can kind of work on stuff, like this isn't just a today thing. You could always come in on a Thursday and work on that stuff. But those are the days where we really lean into that, to be able to deep dive into those skills, to deep dive into those things and identify the problems that I'm having, the mistakes that I'm making, the movement faults or anything else like that that I've got going on that's preventing me from accomplishing those movements. Without intentional practice, we won't get better. What's the saying? Perfect practice makes perfect? Yeah. Not just practice, because I could practice things the wrong way and learn them the wrong way, and I'm never gonna do the thing the right way. But if I practice it the right way and learn how to do things correctly the first time, that saves me the heartache of having to relearn how to do something after I've done double unders the wrong way for years, and then I have to refine and relearn that because now I'm spending too much energy on all of my double unders, and I've hit a point where I can't string more than 25, 30 together, whatever it might be. So lean into that skill work. Then after we're done with some skill work and stuff like that, we're going to do yet another EMOM, 10-minute EMOM. Every minute on the minute will be 5 handstand push-ups. Why? Because we haven't done handstand push-ups in what feels like a little bit. We've done a lot of overhead work, but not handstands specifically. And so accumulating some volume is a good thing. So in 10 minutes, obviously that'll be 50 handstand push-ups. That's quite a bit. The goal should be that 5 handstand push-ups is unbroken every single minute on the minute. So let's wander over to the pegboard. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things we need to think about on the pegboard. But again, my shoulders are absolutely wrecked for my workout today, so not going to be demoing them, but let's go talk about it. All right, so for those of you who haven't seen a pegboard, obviously this was a new addition during quarantine. We had the homemade version, but it was a lot harder to use because the peg holes were a lot more tight-fitting than what a standard pegboard is. But the goal is, as you lock this in and pull down, this pegboard or this peg isn't going to come out of the board itself. It's only when there's no weight that you can pull these out. So there is a very much a level of accuracy and all that sort of stuff that goes into moving this peg from one hole to the next, and then climbing that pegboard up. The big things to think about, if you were to see an athlete with arms extended, this is a really hard place to climb from. Now you can sometimes see people where they'll pull a peg out and they'll reach and they'll kind of do these small climb this way where they're kind of pulling themselves up, but their arms are really extended. That's super, super taxing on your grip. And not really a sustainable place to be. Ideally, what you want is when you're on that pegboard, your arms are at that 90-degree angle the entire time you're climbing. So while I'm maintaining that 90 degrees, I'm relying on at least one of my arms to hold that position while this one becomes weightless and I reach up for the next. That's when this can become weightless and I reach up for the next. So it's about maintaining that 90-degree bend in your arms as you're hanging there. So it's a ton of time under tension and it's slow, controlled movements. The moment that I feel out of control and I go to do something really quickly, I might lose my grip here. Once that arm extends, there's no way I'm staying up on that pegboard. So controlling those movements, small movements, is gonna be the key to success here. I'm not really overreaching to try to get to the next peg. So skipping pegs is not generally something that happens. Now you will see very proficient athletes might skip a peg hole, but they're doing every other as they're climbing. But what I've seen for the most part is athletes that are really, really good at this, and I myself, even when I'm fresh, I might be able to get one pegboard ascent. It's not something that I'm super adept in. Myself, it's something I can continue to work on, but it's obviously something when we only have one, we don't program them in the gym very often, and there's quite a bit of strength and skill involved in these. So a day like a Thursday is a great day to spend some time with this. The only way to get better at something is to do it. So if I find myself looking at it going, oh, I want to be able to do that, but I never do it, I'm never taking steps in the right direction. So again, as we're climbing, feet can be on the wall. That's totally fine. You're trying to keep your arms nice and close and work at, say I can't even hold myself up after my workout, but you're working at maintaining that 90 degrees, trying to use your feet as much as you can. Not that they're going to give you a ton of assistance. Short steps. I would say try to think about as you're climbing, you're matching your pegs every time. And that accuracy there is super important. If I'm not practiced in moving from one peg to the next and doing so efficiently, the moment that I start to bobble and like I'm missing that hole over and over again, eventually my left side or my right side is going to give out. So that's a little bit of basics on the pegboard. Again, sorry that I'm not in a state to demo the full movement. But we definitely have coaches and athletes here who are much more proficient at this than I am myself. So this will be something that if this is new, we're going to dive into it a little bit, but then spending most of our day to day, again, focusing on our weaknesses, focusing on the things that we know we need to do, but we tend to avoid, or maybe I tend to cherry pick workouts and I don't come do workouts with double unders because I know that I get frustrated every time double unders come up. And the only reason I'm not better at them yet is because I avoid them all the time. So that's our intention today. And then again, ending with some handstand push-ups and getting inverted in that overhead position. Or if I don't have handstand push-ups, we can always scale those movements. Maybe it's strict overhead dumbbell presses or something where I'm working on strength. I'm working on that pressing motion. I'm trying to accumulate some volume and then call it good. So again, that's what we're getting into for our Thursday today. Hopefully I see a lot of you guys there. I know that this week has been fairly rough so far, the first 3 days. People are tired, people are sore. That's a good thing. It means we're doing what we need to do. And Thursdays, if I'm not feeling it and I'm like, ooh, I need a rest day, that's one of the other reasons why we do active recovery days on Thursday. Give your body that rest. It needs it. And then come back on Friday and let's hit it hard. So with that, I'm out. And yeah, let's get after it.